This is the new M44 Meteor from Noctigon, the successor to the MSR D18 and the Noctigon M43 before it. This light features 4 quad optics and a special dual-channel buck driver that allows for some neat new configurations. The host is exactly the same as the D18, a triple 18650 body that is surprisingly small in person. I'd barely classify this as a pop can light. It's much more portable and even pocketable than I expected. While the D18 had 18 emitters with discrete optics and a FET-based driver, this new M44 has 16 LEDs grouped into 4 quads under the same Carclo optics as the DT8 and powered by a very interesting dual-channel buck driver. While losing 2 LEDs and getting a less powerful driver reduces output, it gains auxiliary LEDs, better efficiency, more versatility, and flashing pads for firmware updates. My M44 is fully equipped with Nichia 519A emitters, domed 5700K on channel 1 and de-domed 2700K on channel 2, and features the micro arc oxidation finish, which I have found does get a bit dirtier, but is not difficult to clean and just looks really cool. Unfortunately, in my testing, this light is much dimmer than expected, with a maximum output of about 5400 lumens. This is substantially less than the 8500 lumens listed on Hang's website, and significantly less again than the FET-driven D18 that had just 2 more emitters. I was hoping for more from this light, and to be fair, other reviewers got higher numbers. I don't know, perhaps it's just the emitters I chose, but after several tests and fiddling with the firmware, I still got that consistent result. However, the buck driver in this light improves efficiency, and it does manage to sustain its turbo output for an impressive 8 minutes before stepping down. After dropping, it sustained about 1100 lumens at the default thermal limit, and almost 2000 lumens with a 60C thermal limit. Considering how small this light actually is, that is solid performance. I also didn't find it to be particularly hot in the hand. Actual runtime was decent, but there's not a ton of battery capacity here. I've used my M44 as a work light and have found that at a useful output level, it will barely last for a night of usage. So while it's bigger than other Hank lights, it still kind of falls into the hot rod category. This light has the same beam pattern as the DT8 due to the optics, though the specific beam will depend on the emitters chosen. My 519A CCT mix offers a wide temperature range. Unfortunately, the domed and de-domed channels don't mix quite as well as I had hoped, so there is some notable tint shift as a result. The warmer beam is a bit throwier, but not by a significant amount. I wouldn't consider it a flood-throw combo. I find the 519As to be the best general option, with high output, a balanced floody beam, and great coloration and color rendering. I don't think the M44 is well suited to being a thrower, but you can opt for Osram W1 or even luminous SSD20 emitters on the second channel for a tighter beam. Personally, I prefer this to just be a tint ramping light. The light is loaded with Toykeeper's Anduril 2, which continues to get updates over time. This version has some more dual channel features with options for tint ramping and channel switching both accessible in the main ramp with 3 presses and a hold. Pretty nifty. Being a triple 18650 light, this guy will require matched cells, so remember to purchase cells specifically and exclusively for this light, and charge them as a group. It will only run with unprotected cells, which I have 3 Molicel P28As in mind. Because it's not especially powerful, prioritizing higher capacity cells is probably the better move. Overall, I am a bit mixed on this light. The M44 is a compact and feature-rich high-power light at a great price. As expected, really. The surprisingly small size makes this very versatile and easy to carry. But of course, its dense interface, advanced feature set, specific battery requirements, and relatively low durability makes this much better for enthusiasts than for general users, who may struggle to get a handle on its charging and operation requirements. Personally, I just wish it was bigger and had a longer runtime, and I wish it was brighter. Though it's shockingly small, I think a slightly smaller and more powerful triple 21700 light would have just been more useful, at least to me. I find it to be a bit of an awkward in-between size, but it is very nice for short hikes or as something to throw in a backpack for quick overnight trips. I think it's too large for travel or regular carry in a bag, and not powerful or long-running enough to be great as a highly portable working light. So ultimately I think it's best for quick adventures, and in that role it's great. I also don't find much use for its dual channel capabilities and personally prefer the DM1.12's much bigger variation between the 2 channels. I think that light would be pretty killer with the triple battery setup found here. Though it's got some quirks, I still enjoy using that light. You can watch my review of the DM1.12 here.